There's someone basic ground cover, really nice photo in the background, or painting, I guess, and you know, the figures and the teepees. I mean, just try and picture that image without the no ground, without no base color, without the photo in the background. It would, yeah, the figures are nice, but they're nothing phenomenal. It's the combination of everything that makes it phenomenal. This is one of the Britain's ones, from Britain's, probably Ken did it. The hyper realistic grass, a nice background image. Can't see the dividing line. This is one that I did, you know, prop. I mean, there's what you're really wanting to see is the guy on the camel, but you put him on a nice base, make a little sign about it with that's an actual ad for the Gatling gun. You know, I used, as Eduardo posted this just a few days ago on OMSS Ottawa Facebook page. There's a perfect idea of using props. He's got two props. He's got the Great Book of Britons in the background. He's got the actual box that the figure came in as the base, and there's the figure. It just, you know, makes the whole thing pop. This is just a base King and Country Christmas special set. There's the exact same thing, just with I had a couple of two ruined buildings. I just overlaid one over the other. That's all there is to it, and you come up with that. This just felt on the background and the base, using the actual box it came in. Put a little fence at the side, and it's just a nice little scene. This primitive but very effective. Look, he's got the trees as props. He's painted the background. I think that's painted. It could just be a sheet. Yeah, you know, ground cover. Once again, it's certainly more impressive than just putting the soldiers on the floor or on the shelf. Here's the same guy. I think he made his own Alamo, which really works with the plastic figures. It wouldn't work if they were King and Country Alamo figures you're trying to put there. That wouldn't work. This is one I did. It's actually, it's got several layers of props. It's got the white felt on the ground. On each side of the soldiers, it's got a gate post opening, and in the back is another fence, and then the background photo. This is, I just did these just to show. There's a setup. The soldiers at the guardhouse. I put it just a color background and a prop of the gate and the fence, and they actually light up. So I tried it in yellow. I tried it in red. I tried it in blue. I tried it in black. And I tried it with the photo in the background. All of them look entirely different, but all it is a simple change of a piece of colored paper or colored felt in the background. That's the only difference between any of those photos. The images are just three little figures. You put it on a rug, the red background, an image of the actual painting that the soldiers were taken from. This is on the point of going extravagant, because the soldiers we're featuring are a very limited Britain's series on D-Day here. The secondary toy soldiers is another Britain series. That's the Britain's box from that series. You put a replica newspaper in the back. You surround it with images of Canadian soldiers on D-Day, and that becomes a display in itself. Same thing there. The toy soldier is just the king and country figure in the box. Put Christmas wrapping paper in the background. Just this guy here, a little bit busy, but it's just full of props. He's got the base cover, he's got the background, he's got his trees as props. It's all very childlike and toy-like, but it's actually a nice effect. This one did a really nice job. To me, it's actually overdone. This one in that it kind of loses a focus. Almost all of them have a focus. That one actually doesn't have a focus. It's got a lot of props, and it enhances the soldiers for sure, because they're just the crappy old, I say crappy old Britain's detail figures. But now then, sometimes you put things in a frame or a container, like on the right, it's just a little box with a piece of felt. Actually, it's actually a piece of foam material at the bottom. So you just put them in a different container. That I just put them in a bell jar, put a piece of white around the bottom, and that's all there is to it. Same thing with that one. Put a piece of green on it, put a sign beside it, explain what it is. Yeah. Put a few models on a type of a base, put it on a base, and there you go. These ones, these are flats, little 30mm flats. Beautiful, beautiful little soldiers. And there they are, just sitting basically on a shelf. Well, okay, let's put them on that. That's something you buy at Michael's, actually. That's a signboard. You buy it at Michael's. $4. And that's a close-up of them in there. There's another example, almost the same thing at Michael's. I think that was a $5 display rack. You're supposed to put all letters on it, a menu board type thing. Just an old photo board, an old photograph frame, or you could call it a shadow box, I guess. And that's just it's not even felt. It's what's that wool called? Wool type stuff in the background. Yeah. Sometimes when you're doing things that are very small, if you got very small stuff and you do it on a shelf, people can see how big it is. If you're doing it for a photograph, you've got to put something in to show the scale. If you didn't see the guy's fingers, you'd say that's nice. It's kind of weird looking, but it's nice. But that adds the dimension to it when you see the scale of it. Same thing with that. If you just saw the tank, you'd say, okay, yeah, not much about that, but it's the scale. Same thing about those. It's the scale that makes. Every time I photograph something small, I put a standard size Britain's figure in with it, just to show. Then you can see the scale of it all. Same thing. Look at those little guys. That's a 54mm figure there. So where do you get all these props? Okay, props. You've got a commercial products. You can get them from toy soldier manufacturers, sell props, hobby shops, model railroad accessories. That's JG Miniatures. Once again, you can get little props, hobby shops, Trenches, hobby shop. All these little things. Keep your eyes open for things like that. I picked that up. Actually, those are actually, the scale is for 30mm figures, but they still work great with the 54mm guys. Trees. There's a company in out of London, I think, Model Hobby Supply, and they do a lot. I think they're even coming to On Parade, somebody mentioned this year. And they do a whole series of trees in all different sizes. Where I get a lot of stuff is Dollarama, Michaels, and the Salvation Army. These domes are, I think they're $1.25 each at Dollarama. They're plastic. Snow globe kit. I think they're $1.50 at Dollarama. These trays and stuff, they're not as much for presentation as for sorting and stuff, but you get 5 of them for $3 at Dollarama. Dollarama felt pieces of all different colors, all different sizes. Dollarama. I don't have a scale thing, but I just plunk. This sheet is filled with rows and rows of individual little things, and I plop one off, and that's a bush just by itself. You'd want to paint it a bit, but Michaels sells all these different display boxes, I guess. If you're buying anything at Michaels, wait till it either goes on sale or you have a coupon. Michaels is a phenomenal source for paper pads. These are large pads. I think they're, 12 inches by 12 inch papers. And you get several sheets of all those different colors. So, and they're absolutely perfect for background items or basing items. I consider all these props. These are Michaels. They're just great sheets for basing. I mean, and I'm not talking necessarily about dioramas and vignettes, not something that you're trying for a terribly professional look and you're looking to create a miniature work of masterpiece, but just something quick and easy. And all these things are great for that. I buy these at Salvation Army. The clocks never work. You buy them for a couple of bucks, you take the clock off, and they're made of glass. These are glass domes and metal bases. They make phenomenal containers. This is just a picture of a whole bunch of things up on little easels. There's the On Parade thing. There's our On Parade ad, our little sign, a box, 8.5 by 11 sheets and binders, a toy soldier display. All of those are just on those, all different little, and these are all props to hold up different things, right from a little sign to a big 8.5 by 11 binder, and makes a big difference to have a little prop holding it up, or holding the box up at a 45-degree angle. All props. Here we are, palm trees. Holy geez. These ones really aren't large enough. They're only 7 3/4 inches tall. So that's how big the trunks come up. That's just a commercial model product. Get that at a hobby shop. I found another source. Andrew mentioned he got some from China. I got these from Temu in China. The whole bag of them cost me $6, I think.
That's the ones. That's the ones.
Yeah. And you get all sorts. I've been buying. Temu has phenomenal landscaping items. If you even look in their section under aquarium plants, you wouldn't believe the stuff they got that can be used as props and backgrounds. And I'm going to share my biggest secret.
Oh.
Elmer's rubber cement. It's a liquid. You can buy it at Michael's. it's an old graphics thing. I used to use it back in the 1970s when I was a graphic artist on the art table type thing. It'll stick anything. It'll stick paper, metal, wood, rock, anything. I use it on my dioramas when I have something that I want to stick down, like a toy soldier, and I don't want it to knock over, or I'm putting a parade formation of 50 figures on little narrow bases, and one of those where you bang the table a bit and 50 of them tumble over. You put a little bit of this Elmer's rubber cement underneath, and it'll stick it to anything. So much so I can take a Britain's mounted cavalryman, a mounted Waterloo cavalryman. I can stick it on a base with this rubber cement, and I can turn the whole thing upside down and shake it, and the Britain's figure will not fall off. But easy enough to take off that you can just pop it off. It's a rubber base thing. The rubber balls up. It does not damage the bases on the figures. If the bases are painted or numbering, paint on the bottom, it won't touch it at all. Miracle stuff. And failing that, you can get adhesive dots. Like there's 250 dots in this little. The key is get removable. Don't get permanent ones. And it's really great. Between the dots and the rubber cement, even for a temporary display, something you're going to set up. You're going to set up a parade and just take a photograph or something, and then take it all down. It's worth sticking it on, because if you've ever gone through the aggravation of lining up a whole bunch of stuff and you knock the table and they all fall down, you'll appreciate it.